Welcome, students. Today we are going to review those steps for long division and try using them on some bigger and more challenging numbers in long division. So to get started here, let's just choose the next clean page in our math notebooks. Make sure you have a sharp pencil, and we'll go ahead and we'll just label our page here. Long division. So the first thing we're going to do is just review those steps for long division. That first step is divide. Now, do you remember the member of the family that we used for divide? That was Dad. I just used that as a little device, just it's a way of helping remember those steps, because I can think through the people in a family, and I just get used to kind of in the habit of using that, and we'll be referring back to that if it's helpful. And by doing that, I just helps me remember what order to do them and just not to forget any steps. The very important part about that word divide, and we're going to use this very frequently, is this. I would like you to put this in. How many groups of blank can I make with blank? How many groups of blank can I make with blank? We're going to use that question. I'm going to highlight the question, and I'm going to refer back to it a few times during this lesson here. How many groups of blank can I make with blank? And right now I realize it doesn't make much sense, but it will make sense as we go. So step number one is divide. All right. Step two is subtract. Oops, excuse me. Step two is multiply. Now, I think it may be helpful for you to rewrite these notes here. So if you aren't already, go ahead and you can just pause if you need to. Go ahead and write this down so you've got this handy. Multiply, and we used mom. Would it be helpful if I rewrote those cartoons, redrew those? Those are kind of fun, aren't they? There's our little dad. And we'll draw our mom here too. She looks like this. Do you see those math symbols in my little drawings? All right. Multiply. Next up was subtract. We used sister for that division family member. Sister looked a little bit something like this. Don't ask me why. I have a very nice sister, but she has that minus symbol for a mouth, so she just looks kind of mean to me. Just a way, and sometimes we use humor. We use these kind of little devices to, it just helps things stick in our memory because they stand out to us a bit more. All right, subtract. So we've got dad, mom, sister. Next comes brother. And brother stands for bring down. That was brother. Oh, brother. Bring down. Bring down, I like to draw this little arrow here. And, well, actually it's a straight arrow. Like this. And the arrow, that kind of makes his nose. There's our picture of our brother here. Oh, lost his eye. All right, next up is repeat. We're going to repeat the whole process over. So what we just did here is we wrote the steps of a long division problem. Rover. I like to imagine, I use this little arrow, and I kind of imagine it's a little dog. It's got little feet here. These are the steps to a long division problem. Let's just review them here and make sure you've got these either written down from our last lesson. And if you didn't, make sure to write them down now. Step 1, divide. How many groups of blank can I make with blank? Step 2, multiply. Step 3, subtract. Step 4, bring down, and step 5, repeat. I need to add numbers to these as well because those numbers are helpful. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. I think it's helpful to rewrite these steps a few times. The actual process of writing it down can really help it stick in our brains. So I would just rewrite it on the page. I just rewrote it. It took me a few minutes. I think it'd be good for you to do that as well. Pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move on. All right. So let's start with a smaller division problem, and then we'll try a little bit bigger one. That's going to be helpful for your practice this week. So let's go ahead and try a 2-digit number to begin with. 36 divided by 2. Now I want my steps. I'm going to keep these handy. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to take them and actually shrink them down and just keep them handy while I'm working on this problem. All right. So step 1 is divide. How many groups of blank can I make with blank? When we ask this question, we always start with this part of the division problem. We call this the part that we start with the dividend. If I had 36 pieces of candy and I was sharing them with friends, I would call that pile of candy the dividend. I'm only thinking about candy because it was just Halloween. That's the dividend. It's the pile in the middle. The divisor here, that's how many people we're sharing with, or how many things are how many groups we're making. So let's ask this question. How many groups of blank? So we're going to start with the dividend. How many groups of, excuse me, we'll start with the divisor, rather. Maybe I'll even add some colors to this. Yeah, this could be handy. There, I'm going to have these colors match my math problem here and my question over here. See how this is red and this is red? This is green and this is green. So how many groups of, give it a try. Ask the question. Insert these numbers here into the question. How many groups of 2 can I make with 36? Well, we break this down by doing this one number at a time. So let's start with this. How many groups of 2 can I make with 3? So if I need to, I can make a group of 2 just to draw it. All right, so here is 3. Now, how many groups of 2 can I make? So on your paper, make sure you have all of this written down. Make sure you have this math, the division problem written down, and go ahead and draw yourself a little group of 3. That's this group of 3 right here. Now, circle a group of 2 from your 3. Can you circle 2 of these? There we go. Now ask ourselves the next question. Can I make another group of 2? I cannot. How many groups did I make? I made 1 group. All right, take a look at our long division steps. What is step number 2? What does MOM stand for? MOM stands for multiply. We always multiply the number we just wrote down with our divisor. So what did we just write down? We just wrote down the number 1. 1 times 2 is 2. All right. Now on to step 3. What is step 3? That would be sister. Sister stands for subtract. All right. 3 minus 2 equals 1. What is step 4? Brother. That stands for bring down. I'm going to bring that 6 down to here. Now we have 16. And finally, repeat. See that little arrow in the repeat step? That arrow goes right here. And that brings us, repeat, means we go back up to the beginning. All right. So how many groups? So now, again, we're going to start with that. We're going to start with that divisor. Take a look at the question over here. Can you match up those numbers and those colors with our new numbers and colors? Go ahead and try asking the question yourself. How many groups of can I make with blank? How many groups of 2 can I make with 16? So one way to do this is to count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, I'm going to stop right there because I've made enough groups. If I tried to make another group, I would have 18, and that is bigger than the number I'm dividing up. So I'm going to stop right here. How many groups did I make? I made 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's another way we could have done this? If I wasn't sure about counting by 2's, I might show this by making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oops, went too far. All right. I could draw this and I could make groups of 2. Can I make a group of 2? Yes, I can. Can I make another group? Yeah. Can I make another group? Yes. And another, and another, and another. How many groups did I make? I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Before we figure our answer, we write it down on top. I made 8 groups. All right. Now, what is step 2, Mom? That stands for multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times 8. What is 2 times 8? 2 times 8 is 16. Step 3, sister, stands for subtract. 16 minus 16 is 0. Step 4 is bring down. Is there anything to bring down? There is not, which means that I need to stop. That means I'm done with my problem. There's nothing left over. There's no remainder in this problem. All right. So that means we are done with this problem. 36 divided by 2 equals 18. So go ahead and use these steps. You're going to do some practice on iExcel today. Make sure you have those steps written down. Refer back to this video. You can rewatch it if you need to. And let me know if you have any questions or you want any help practicing this. Can't wait to see all your hard work.